This week, we lost an actor who made us believe dinosaurs could walk again. We lost the woman behind one of the most powerful love songs ever written. And we lost the man whose voice you've sung along to at every wedding reception you've ever been to, even if you never knew his name. Let's get into it. We remember a man who spent his whole career quietly stealing scenes without ever needing to shout. Sam Neill was the New Zealand actor who became a paleontologist the whole world fell in love with. If you grew up in the 90s or later, you knew him as Dr. Alan Grant, walking through that field in Jurassic Park, staring up at something no one had seen in 65 million years. But Neill's career ran far deeper than that one role. He worked steadily for decades, in dramas, in thrillers, always with that same calm presence that made you trust him the moment he was on screen. He died July 13th in Sydney at the age of 78. She had one of those voices you'd know in half a second: rough, powerful, unmistakable. Bonnie Tyler was the Welsh singer who gave us Total Eclipse of the Heart. If you were anywhere near a radio in the early 80s, you remember exactly where that song could take you. Tyler had other hits too, but that one song became something bigger than a single. It became a moment people still reach for, decades later, whenever they need something to feel enormous. She died on July 8th after surgery in Portugal at 75. Now here's a strange bit of trivia for you. The man we're about to talk about co-wrote one of the biggest disco anthems of all time, and he almost never got credit for it. Victor Willis was the original policeman of the Village People, the one in the uniform, the one singing lead. You know the songs even if you've never once thought about who sang them. Yimcha, In the Navy, Macho Man. Willis didn't just perform them, he co-wrote them, shaping some of the most joyfully ridiculous, endlessly played songs in music history. For years, people danced to his voice without knowing his name. That's a strange kind of fame, massive and invisible at the same time. Willis died June 30th after a short illness at 74. From the dance floor, we moved to the awards stage because our next name made history the moment she opened her mouth to accept her Oscar. Brenda Fricker did something no Irish actress had ever done before her. In 1989, she won the Academy Award for playing the mother in My Left Foot, becoming the first Irish woman to ever take home an Oscar. It wasn't a flashy performance, it was quiet, aching, and completely honest, which is exactly why it worked. She kept working for decades after that, but that one win opened doors for a generation of actors who came after her. Fricker died July 16th in Dublin, following a period of ill health at 81. Sometimes the loudest legacies come from the quietest performances. Our next star spent his career as the calm center of a very loud, very chaotic show. If you grew up in the 70s, you probably wanted to be a paramedic because of this man. Randy Mantooth starred in Emergency, the NBC show that followed two Los Angeles firefighter paramedics, and it did something no show had really done before. It made real first responders into household heroes. Mantooth spent the rest of his life as an advocate for the very professions he once played on TV. He wasn't just an actor to a lot of firefighters and paramedics. He was one of their biggest champions, on screen and off, for 50 years. He died July 9th in Ventura, California, surrounded by loved ones. Not many actors get to say their character actually changed how people saw a profession. He did. From one beloved 70s ensemble, let's head to another, this one set in an apartment building in Chicago. Hal Williams had one of those faces you'd recognize instantly, even if the name took you a second. He played Lester Jenkins on 227, opposite Marla Gibbs in one of the most popular black sitcoms of the 1980s. And before that, in the 70s, he was Officer Smitty on Sanford and Son, another show that was appointment television in millions of households. Two hit shows, 2 decades apart, and Williams brought that same warm, easygoing presence to both. He died July 15th at his home in Rancho Mirage, California, of natural causes, at 91. 91 years, and most of them spent making people laugh. That's a good run. Now let's head somewhere a little more dangerous, to the desert of one of the most iconic action films ever made. You've absolutely seen this face, even if you don't know the name behind it. Michael Byrne played Colonel Vogel, the Nazi officer chasing after Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, one of the most memorable villains in a franchise full of them. He had a long career on British television too, including roles in Coronation Street and Smiley's People. Byrne had that gift a lot of great character actors have you never forgot him, even if you couldn't always place where you'd seen him before. He died June 20th at the age of 82. And speaking of unforgettable faces from the same era of action filmmaking, our next two names actually shared a screen together on opposite sides of a very different desert. Some villains you're actually afraid of. Kjell Nilsson gave us one of them. The Swedish actor played Lord Humongous, the masked, muscle-bound warlord terrorizing the wasteland in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Behind that hockey mask was a genuinely commanding physical presence that made the whole film feel more dangerous. Nilsson spent much of his career working in Australian cinema, but that one role in the desert made him unforgettable to action fans everywhere. He died July 2nd of kidney disease in Queensland, Australia, at 76. Every hero needs a worthy villain, and the man we're about to remember was standing on the other side of that same wasteland. Mike Preston spent his career as the steady, reliable presence surrounded by chaos. In Mad Max 2, he played Pappagallo, the leader of the besieged settlers trying to survive Lord Humongous and his gang. Preston had a long career as both an actor and singer before that film, but for a whole generation of action fans, that one role in The Wasteland is the one that stuck. He died June 8th in Florida at the remarkable age of 93. From the desert wasteland, let's step back into the glamour of 1960s spy films. Joanna Pettit had exactly the kind of face that defined the 1960s. The British-born actress appeared in the original Casino Royale in 1967, alongside an ensemble stacked with legends, and she became a familiar presence in television dramas throughout that decade and into the next. She had the kind of screen presence that made directors want to keep casting her. Pettit's career spanned stage, film, and television for over 50 years, but it's that era, the 60s glamour, the spy thrillers, that so many of us remember her from. She died July 9th at her home in Los Angeles at 83. And from one satirical spirit of the era, let's move to another, a woman who turned a soap opera completely upside down. Louise Lasser did something television hadn't really seen before. She starred in Mary Hartman, a soap opera parody that was strange, dark, and completely unlike anything else on TV in the mid-1970s. It became a genuine cultural phenomenon. Before that, she'd already made her mark starring in a string of early Woody Allen films. Lasser had a way of finding the absurd in ordinary life, and audiences couldn't look away. She died July 6th at her home in Manhattan at 87. Now let's rewind even further to the beach movies that defined a certain kind of American summer. Joby Baker's career reads like a highlight reel of a certain kind of golden-era Hollywood. He appeared in 3 Gidget films, shared the screen with Elvis Presley, Sandra Dee, and Connie Francis, and eventually got his own starring role in the show Good Morning World. He was the kind of actor who seemed to show up in exactly the movies you remember from your childhood summers. Baker's career eventually slowed down, but the films he made in that stretch have stayed beloved for generations. He died June 22nd of natural causes in Yonkers, New York at 92. Our next name spent his career in the world of daytime television in a role that ran for years. If you spent your afternoons with soap operas in the 70s and 80s, you probably remember this face. Tom Ligon played Lucas Prentice on The Young and the Restless for years, becoming a familiar presence in millions of living rooms. Before that, he'd appeared in films like Paint Your Wagon and Bang the Drum Slowly, sharing the screen with some major names of the era. Ligon's TV role may have been his most enduring, but his film work showed a real range that daytime audiences didn't always get to see. He died in June 2026 in New York City at 85. And now, the one we promised you at the very start. Before there was rock as we know it, the arenas, the anthems, the guitar solos, there was a sound just starting to take shape. And this man was one of the ones shaping it. Before the Beatles landed in America, before rock and roll was a given, Freddy Cannon was already making it move. He had a string of hits in the late 50s and early 60s: Palisades Park, Tallahassee Lassie, Way Down Yonder, and New Orleans songs built for dancing, for driving with the windows down, for the very first generation that grew up with rock and roll as their own music. Cannon was there at the beginning, one of the pioneers who helped turn a new sound into something the whole country wanted to dance to. He died July 17th at a hospice facility in Oxnard, California, after fighting cancer at 89. It feels right to end here with one of the voices that started it all, the sound that everything else on this list in some way grew out of. 14 lives, 14 very different careers. They gave us the moments we grew up with. The least we can do is remember them. If one of these names meant something to you, let us know in the comments which one hit hardest. And if you want to make sure you never miss one of these tributes, hit subscribe. We'll be back with more of the stars who shaped us.